Oh, here we go again, eh? 50th session of the day. Oh my god. I'm loving this thing, man. I really am. I'm one of those guys. I mean, I understand I'm a little bit weird when it comes to this, but I'm one of those guys that I need to train. I need to train to feel good. I need to train to feel sane. I need to feel. I need to train to feel satisfied, to feel calm, to not feel aggressive. I've said many times before, man. If it wasn't for training, I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know how young guys in this world are not more aggressive. Uh, I don't know. I actually feel sorry for them, and I actually quite understand some of this violence that we experience in the world. I don't know. Like, if you don't have a release, I think I would be very, very responsive to all the crap that goes on in the world, to all the injustice, to all the crap that goes on. Uh, Training offers me that release, offers me that clarity. Otherwise, man, like, I don't know, jail, murder, I don't know. All of this stuff that guys get locked up for. I just feel like if all of these guys just trained and released, they wouldn't commit some of these crazy crimes. You know, uh, they go out, they drink some alcohol. Uh, you know, the inhibition. All of a sudden, they're shooting guns and hitting people in the face and all that sort of stuff. I just feel like if they just had a leg day, if they just squatted before that, that would have been fine. Less volatile. Because I look at some of this stuff, murder, just flat out violence, the worst violence that you see in the world. I just think to myself, man, like, not to say that I don't blame them, uh, but in a way, I'm like, man, we don't live a physical existence anymore in this modern age. Everything's behind screens. Everything is, with no character. People say whatever they want because there's a screen in between people. There's no more respect, and it feels like there's a lot of immaturity that gets propagated because we live in this fancy world where we're faceless, we're anonymous, uh, and I don't know. It's a non-physical world for bodies that are clearly physical, and if you don't have a release, man, you'd go crazy. You'd go absolutely crazy. Um, Political correctness. You can't say anything to anyone. If you disagree with somebody, you're bullying. If you disagree with somebody, you're harassing. You can't say anything to anyone. It's all just like weird world. I mean, for me, I've never been a violent guy, but I've always been a sports guy. I can recall so many situations where I've gone out with mates, and things get heated. There's a disagreement, and guys just want to punch on, and I've always kind of felt like I always had a voice in the back of my mind like, this is not worth it. Why don't we just get out of here and just go for a squat? But guys don't think like that. Guys just want to be violent and whatever. And I think early on, because of nursing, I kind of realized what violence actually is. It's the other side of violence, is very, very ugly. It's very sad. And when you see, what violence does to people and the repercussions, it's just not freaking worth it. I say that to say that I understand why people are very aggressive. I understand why people lash out. There's a lot of stuff that rubs us the wrong way. But you need to have a release. You need to have a coping mechanism. And so for all these guys that find themselves in prison, I mean, some of this stuff, it's almost like it's unavoidable, man. Like, some people grow up in absolute terrible situations. But I feel like young men young men, we need a release. And that's why I say to you, man, I don't understand how young men live without a release. Like, what is there? You know, smoke weed every day, all day, play video games all day, every day. Like, what can give you a release? Drink alcohol. What can give you a release better than an exercise, man? Like, I honestly don't know. Like, for instance, now I trained a little bit. I'm going to stretch a little bit. Worked up to 180 for a set of 5 on the high box squat. You know, and then I'm trying to, you know, recover from the other day. So I don't want to go crazy with that. Come in here, stretch out, and get the remaining of my fix. Shower up, eat, go to work, and I feel like I'm going to work calm. I'm not going to work aggressive and full of charge. And, you know, I'm not going to go into an environment like that at a hospital where you have to be professional, where you have to be soft towards people. People, you know, often nurses, man, doctors, people spit at us, people trying to hit us, people trying to lash out. There's a lot of stuff, and I wish I could lash out like them, right? You want to fight? Let's go outside, right? But it's not an even keel world, man. Like, they're the customer, they're always right, that kind of stuff. Also, they might be mentally deranged, under the influence, not having a great day, and so if you, the care provider, are also aggressive, there's not a lot of care going to happen there. So I feel like I need to train before I go to work, so I'm calm, collected. So when this abuse comes at me, I'm not receptive to it. Like, I'm just like, whatever, man. I just squatted a whole bunch of weight and I stretched out a whole. I'm released. There's no tension in me. Walk up to work. You can tell me whatever the hell you want to tell me. I'm not going to react to your immaturity. But that's what I have. Obviously, you can't go to work high. You can't go to work drunk. So what do people do before they go to work? Shit's gonna happen. It's just the way it is. You're gonna go to work and someone's gonna shoot straight on your head. What are you gonna do? You're gonna punch them? You're gonna yell at them? You're gonna get your release that way? It doesn't work that way. You're not gonna get fired in this society if you do that. So you have to have some sort of freaking release. And then, you know, squat every day for me, it's just a fancy thing. I could have been training normal stuff, like, you know, one day squat, one day deadlift, one day bench, one day overhead press, one day push-ups, one day pull-ups, one day go for a run, one day go for a swim, whatever. Like, whatever the thing is, I would be training every day because I need this. I need this because life is easier this way. Because if I go to work and my body, my endocrine system is just full of charge, my testosterone is freaking 900, and I go to work and some little pencil neck tells me something about something, I want to snap his neck. I don't want to think like that, man. I want to be like, oh, cool, no worries, man. That's a cool opinion you have there. You have a good day, brother. That's it. And I walk one way, he walks the other way, and that's it. You know, my lats have been released this morning. I don't need to freaking swing, knock his head off to feel my physical release. So that, you know, that's how I think about all of this stuff. You know, I don't know how many times I've said this. Training is not just a physical expression, it's a mental one, it's an emotional one. It touches everything that you need. And so when I say to you guys, like, I'm really falling in love with stretching, that's because you can't overdose on this stuff. You know, what if I've gone and I've done 10 sets of 10 with the squats today, let's say, and I still feel rested. I still feel like I could like go 10 rounds with somebody, right? I still feel aggressive because something happened the day before, and I'm, man, really feeling these lats, man. I want to stretch these lats out, you know, hook somebody's head off, right? What if you're still feeling like that after 10 sets of 10? Shit, you do 20 sets of 10? Well, the bill for that is going to be huge. You're going to be sore for days on end. Or you can come on here and give yourself a bit of a stretch. It's uncomfortable. It's going to provide that release because there is a lot of discomfort with it. You can go crazy with it. And you're not going to feel that too bad like you will eccentric and concentric movements loaded will. This is why I fall in love with it because, I don't know, man, like, and, right, what is stress? Stress brings us tension. What does exercise do? Heavy ass weights, powerlifting, Olympic weightlifting, bodybuilding, what does that bring? That brings tension for the most part. You know, some exercises like, you know, powerlifting, sport, that brings a lot of tension because you're using a lot of weight for little reps. Bodybuilding less so, brings tension because there's also a release, the pump releases. But all of that, you know, weight stuff brings tension, right? And that kind of facilitates to a certain degree tension in the body. This is like the antidote to all of that. It stretches, it relieves tension. And you can just really kind of like feel it. And once I get up out of here, I feel like a ballerina. I feel I can breathe, you know. So when situations come in and I just want to knock somebody's block off, man, I just breathe through all of that length that I've gotten from stretching, you know. And if you think about it, like all the people in that you've seen, the yogis, you know, these guys who are like, you know, into yoga and stretching and whatever, Bikram yoga, that kind of stuff, they have like a calm about them. I don't know whether you guys have noticed that. They have like this calm about them because they're so freaking loose, man. They're so loose. There's no tension in their body. You could walk up to them and be like, you know what? F you, man. You want to step outside? We'll talk about this. And the guys, they're like, just like a sloth sitting there. He's like, no, man, I don't want to go outside. And that's the end of that. Whereas the baboon, the powerlifter, the bodybuilder, the Olympic weightlifter who just did 10 sets of 10, full attention, he just wants, like, his straps are, let's go, man. Which Carlo do you want to meet at? So it's a yin and a yang, obviously, you know. But whatever you end up doing, whether it's even running is great because, you know, that post-run endorphin release that people feel, that's a real thing, man. Like for the first 20 years of my life, that's all I did. I just ran. You know, for me, that's all I really knew about how to get better at basketball. So I would just go for a run, be the fittest guy out there. You know, full court press, freaking 40 minutes a game. Let's go. And so I always had some sort of physical release. And so I think, you know, after 34 years of living, you know, that's kind of how I lived. Pretty sure I'm going to live for the rest of my life in such a way. And there's medical explanations why physical exercise is good, blah, 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 all that boring shit. But, you know, the anecdote, the real experience is that your body feels better, your mind feels better, you're emotionally better. Your self-esteem is better. Like there's so much stuff that goes into it. And so when I say I squat every day, you know, and I say to you guys, it is mentally beneficial for me. This is why, man. Like, you know, I walk through this world calm, less receptive. And I see people in my life, you know, whether it be at work or whether it be at the freaking shop, people are walking by. It's almost like a charged atom, you know. Whoever looks at him wrong, it's on. Right? That's cool, man. You can live your life like that, but I'm pretty sure you can't fight every battle. You can't die on every hill. You know, everyone has a hill they're going to die on. Like if you say something, if you do something to a loved one or whatever, it's on. Right? I'm not saying you can stretch all day and night, but if somebody abuses your loved one, it's on. But to say that you're going to fight every single person that looks at you the wrong way, you're not going to live long, man. You're not going to live long. If physically somebody doesn't mess you up, your heart is probably not going to give out by the time you're 50. You know, because the stress, you know, the adrenaline, the cortisol, that shit is like water on stone. It will cut down the biggest mountain, water will. It keeps just eating away. The blood pressure is always elevated because you're always aggressive. You can't live like that, man. I mean, you can live like that, but it's going to be a short life. Some of these guys, man, when I think about these monks or these yogis who are just relaxed, you know, like it just seems like an easier way of existence, especially in this world, which is completely seems like lost its way. I don't know what the hell is going on with the world. I've got no idea, but it's much more manageable once you squat, once you stretch. Once you deadlift, just feels like it's just a better way of going about it. And I feel like when you mix up tension with release, it feels fantastic. You know, I just loaded up one area for a set of 5. I am tired. You know, slept like a log last night. Wake up, still feeling tired from that 10 sets of 10. I'm not sore. You know, like I'm feeling pretty good, but I am tired. Like I'm taxed out. So, you know, put a bit more weight through the body and then I could walk away, shower, get ready, go to work. But this makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. And in my mind, for the first time, it's making me really motivated to stretch. I could actually see the benefit. There's a connection there mentally now. It's not just to get mobile. There's more to it you know, and the fact that my personality, my character, you know, always needs this release. This is fantastic, man. This is really, really fantastic. It really does something, man. It's just easier to breathe. I don't know, you know, what else to say. To try and describe the sensation of when you really, really stretch out. It releases. I don't know whether it's a function of the nervous system, right? Because the nervous system provides tone to the muscles. There's always a degree of tone. And you need tone, right? To move muscles to be ready to react or whatever. You need tone. But when there's too much tone in the system and the muscles always, the baseline is, tension is always too high, then it wears out the nervous system. It fatigues us earlier in the day. We're more reactive to stress in our life because we're kind of like a rubber band. We can just bang. Don't want to walk around through life like that. I mean, there's moments where you need tension and when you need to act and whatever. But as a baseline, I think we need to drop our tension, our tone, so we can breathe, we can relax, we can get on with our day most efficiently, most effectively. I've got a couple of people running through my mind right now who are ultra aggressive, both female and male, you know, who go to the emergency department and they are, you know, they don't let anything slide. You know, whoever says something that they don't agree with, bang, it's on. There's a dispute, there's a disagreement, there's something. And whatever, like, you know, if it really means that much to you, you know, go for it, dude. But once again, like, you can't die on every hill because nothing's protected. Like, you know, you can't defend everything. If you defend everything, you defend nothing. You know, my approach has always been like, do I really care about this much? I don't. So let's let it slide. You know, this is not worth the cortisol, really. Whatever, man. So I choose my battles. And when I go into situations where, you know, it's not a do or die thing, man, stretch out. That's a beautiful thing. Stretch out, sit here, breathe. That's a beautiful thing, man. This is why I really do see a path forward. You know, I used to be one of those guys that would think about muscle weakness as the primary kind of like focus. So, you know, your hamstrings are really, really tight because your hip flexors are really, really short or whatever, you know. So I was like, okay, I need to hit the hip flexors to release the hamstrings. Your adductors are really, really tight because your glutes are really, really weak, right? They've let go. The adductors are too tight. So you got to hit basically hit tension with tension in another way. Address whatever is weak and then the other stuff is going to release. I used to do that and you just add more tension. Fire on fire on fire. You're fighting fire with fire. And theoretically that makes sense. So you're probably going to make some progress, but damn, dude, like I don't want to just fight all day, man. Let's just put some damn water on the thing that's tight. And then just sit here and breathe. These adductors are slowly letting go. And when they let go, my lower back lets go. I feel like my diaphragm lets go. My mind lets go. I just sit here. Even my shoulders are letting go. Everything is letting go because I'm addressing this damn old, freaked out group of muscles, the adductors. They've always been tight on me. I always stretch. I always hit them hard with ATG squats. I have for freaking years now, every day. So just putting a little bit of fire, a little bit of water on that fire, what this is, just feels great, man. It really feels great. Which is one of the reasons why somebody asked me, you know, obviously these videos are getting longer and longer now. Somebody asked me, Van, what the hell do you do these really high box squats, these chest squats? Why are you doing that? My friend, It is because ATG squats hit the adductors hard. And I just don't want to do them every single day hard. Cut the range of motion a little bit, give them a little bit of reprieve, give them a little bit of relaxation. You know, when you do high box squats, other muscles are the primary ones. The adductors don't really get that much tension through them. It just gives the body another angle of attack. And so, man, so good. I swear to God, it's easier to breathe. I also feel my heart rate is slowly like coming down. And I don't know how much of that is just the nervous system. The nervous system just having that water poured on it. The tension is leaving. And it's just amazing. I can really see why people meditate with stretching. I can see it because that tension is released. It's just your mind releases. It's amazing, man. Once your breath calms down, once the muscles of your body calm down, your breathing slows down, your mind slows down, and there's clarity, stress releases. It's a beautiful thing. And this is why I think this is great. This is really good. God, that's good. And the beautiful thing with this machine is that it's so minimal effort. It does everything for you. You don't need to work hard to just release. And even now as I'm going back to the resting position, oh my God. Like the machine is doing it for me. And I can just feel all of those muscles coming back. Oh my goodness. Oh. There it is, fellas. Man, I could go to sleep again. So relaxed right now. Anyway, guys, appreciate yous. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.